If you struggle to stay focused for more than 10 minutes, this will fundamentally change your next study session. The feeling of your mind splintering into a dozen different directions, a notification here, a sudden thought there, is not a personal failing. It's a biological response to our modern environment. The good news, we can leverage our neurobiology to counteract this. Today, we're not just going to talk about focus, we're going to build a protocol. I'll give practical, science-backed tactics you can use immediately. These are zero-cost tools grounded in how your brain and body work. Move from scattered, reactive attention to deep, proactive concentration. That shift separates mediocre work from exceptional learning and productivity. By the end, you'll have a step-by-step study structure for maximal efficiency and minimal distraction. We'll cover environmental setup, physiological resets, precise timing of tasks, and even your caffeine intake. These are levers you can pull to modulate your brain's focus circuits. Before we dive in, I want to know what we're up against. What's your #1 study distraction? Is it your phone, a noisy environment, your own wandering thoughts? Drop it in the comments below. And if you're serious about mastering focus, subscribe. We release weekly science-based tactics to help you perform at your peak. Now let's get to work. Our first step is to define the battlefield. Before you even sit down, you must set a single, specific study objective for the session. This is non-negotiable. Vague goals like study for my biology exam are invitations for your brain to wander. Why? Because the brain's dopamine system thrives on specificity and anticipation of reward. A vague goal offers no clear finish line and no trigger for dopamine. It creates a state of cognitive ambiguity your brain dislikes. Instead, frame your objective with surgical precision. For example, instead of study biology, your goal becomes vague goal, study biology, specific goal, answer 20 practice questions on Chapter 5. Close-up, handwriting the specific goal on a notepad. Complete and review 20 practice questions for Chapter 5 on cellular respiration. Create 3 flashcards for any concepts I miss. This clarity does 2 crucial things. First, it gives a clear path forward, eliminating wasted decision energy. Your prefrontal cortex can now dedicate resources to the task, not to managing it. Second, it establishes a concrete endpoint. The brain is wired to seek completion. Finishing that task releases a small amount of dopamine. Dopamine isn't just feel-good, it's a do-it-again chemical. It reinforces the neural circuits tied to focused behavior. You're training your brain to enjoy deep work with achievable wins. This is reducing cognitive switching costs. Every decision about what to do next expends mental energy. One clear target preserves that energy for real work. You're telling your brain, for the next block of time, this is our sole mission. This singular focus is the foundation for other focus techniques. It's the anchor that holds attention steady against distraction. Before your next study session, take exactly 2 minutes. Grab a piece of paper, open a digital note, write down one and only one highly specific, achievable objective. Make sure it's realistic for your study block. Defining the target is the first and most powerful step toward hitting it. Now, with your clear goal set, let's move on to structuring the time you'll dedicate to achieving it. Now that you have a specific objective, we need to structure the time you will allocate to it. The idea of sitting down for 3 or 4 hours of uninterrupted study is daunting and neurobiologically inefficient. Your ability to maintain intense focus is a finite resource that operates in cycles. We can leverage these cycles with focused intervals. Think Pomodoro, adapted. Alternate intense, single-minded work with deliberate, short breaks. Try the 25/5 protocol. 25 minutes, focus 5-minute break, or the 50 minutes, focus 10-minute break. The numbers matter less than the principle. Work long enough to reach flow, but short enough that the finish line feels close. That creates manageable urgency and keeps dopamine engaged. Breaks are just as critical. During a 5 or 10-minute break, do not use your phone or other high dopamine, low-effort stimulation. Checking social media floods your brain with novelty, making it hard to return to study. Instead, make breaks active and restorative. Stand up, walk around, get a glass of water, do light stretches, or stare out a window and relax your eyes. This helps consolidate learning and replenish neurotransmitters like acetylcholine and norepinephrine. Physical movement plus lower cognitive demand is the key. Experiment to find what works, 25/5 or 50/10. Which do you prefer? Let me know in the comments. Be consistent. These cycles train sustained attention. Now remove external derailers. Your environment is not a passive backdrop. It is an active participant in your ability to focus. Every object is a signal to your brain. Every sound is a signal to your brain. Every potential notification is a signal to your brain. Engineer your environment to send one signal: it's time to work. The biggest distraction for most people, the smartphone. It's precision engineered to hijack attention. First rule of deep work: remove it entirely. Don't just turn it face down on your desk. The mere presence of your phone reduces cognitive capacity. Your brain allocates resources to not pick it up. Solution: put it in another room. If you can't, put it in a bag, or put it in a drawer out of sight. Turn on Do Not Disturb on your computer or enable focus mode and silence non-essential notifications. Close every tab and app not related to your single objective. Next, address your physical space. A cluttered desk creates a cluttered mind. Every unrelated item is a tiny cognitive open loop. Before your first focus interval, take 60 seconds to clear your workspace. Remove everything except the essentials: textbook, notebook, pen, glass of water. Tidying is a ritual that primes your brain for focus. Increase friction for distraction and reduce friction for focus. Putting your phone in another room adds a physical barrier to checking it. Having only study materials removes friction to start work. You're designing the path of least resistance to deep work. Willpower is finite. Win the easy battles with environment design. Think about the one thing that pulls you out of focus. Comment your single biggest environmental distraction below. Acknowledging it is step 1. Curate your environment to offload self-control to your surroundings. Once external space is clean, turn inward and prime your brain. With a clean environment and a structured time block, the next step is to manage your internal state, your motivation. We can do this by sequencing tasks to leverage the brain's dopamine system. Many people try to jump straight into the hardest part of their work. It can feel like hitting a brick wall, causing frustration and procrastination. We need to build momentum first. Start with a dopamine warm-up. Do a very short 2 to 5 minute easy task. Example: review your checklist and tick a box. Example: organize yesterday's notes. Example: answer 1 or 2 easy review questions. The goal is a small, quick win. That win gives a tiny dopamine hit. It acts as a primer. Immediately pivot to the hardest, most demanding task. Don't break, don't check anything. Use that momentum. You're hijacking your brain's reward system. Stack wins throughout the focus block. As you work, you'll hit milestones. Solve a hard problem, understand a complex paragraph, finish a section of notes. Pause briefly to acknowledge each small victory. This recognition reinforces dopamine pathways and keeps motivation high. You're creating an upward spiral of accomplishment. Sequence matters. Easy win, hardest task. This 2-step approach makes starting and sustaining deep work far more likely. You can have the perfect study environment, the most structured intervals, and the ideal diet. But if your sleep is compromised, your ability to focus will be severely handicapped. Sleep is not a passive state of rest. It is an active and critical period of brain maintenance. During sleep, particularly during deep slow-wave sleep, your brain clears out metabolic waste products that accumulate during waking hours. It's also when your brain consolidates memories, transferring information from the short-term storage of the hippocampus to the long-term storage of the cortex. Poor sleep directly translates to poor focus the next day. It impairs the function of your prefrontal cortex, leading to reduced emotional regulation, poor decision-making, and a significant drop in attentional control. Therefore, protecting your sleep is one of the most powerful things you can do to enhance your ability to study effectively. The single most important factor for regulating your sleep and wake cycles is your circadian rhythm, your body's internal 24-hour clock. And the most powerful tool for setting this clock is light. To anchor your circadian rhythm, aim to get 10 to 30 minutes of direct sunlight exposure within the first hour of waking. Many students spend their focused hours on passive review methods like rereading notes highlighting textbooks. While these activities feel productive neurobiologically, they are very low yield. They create an illusion of fluency without building robust long-term memory. To truly learn and retain information, you must engage in methods that demand focus and cognitive effort. The most powerful of these is active recall. Active recall, also known as retrieval practice, is the act of deliberately trying to retrieve information from your memory without looking at the source material. Instead of rereading a chapter, close the book and try to summarize the key concepts aloud or write them down from scratch. This is a technique sometimes called blurting, or cover up the answers in your notes and treat every concept like a question. This struggle to retrieve information is not a sign of failure. It is the process of learning itself. It strengthens the neural pathways associated with that memory, making it easier to recall in the future. We've covered a complete 10-step protocol to take control of your attention, grounded in the science of how your brain and body operate. You now have a toolkit to build truly productive study sessions. Remember, focus is not an innate talent. It is a skill that is trained. Consistency is more important than perfection. Start by implementing one or two of these steps. Gradually build the full protocol into your daily routine. The goal is to create a system that makes deep work the path of least resistance. Your engagement is what makes this community so valuable. Now go build your protocol.